Hi Beth, can you hear me okay? Hi Nisha, welcome. Hi Beth. Hi Julie, welcome everyone. Hi. Lovely to see you. Hi Hannah, welcome everyone. Hey. So just to check before we start, we'll be using some cushions, have a blanket spare for Shavasana, cozy jumper or pair of socks. And if you have blocks, perfect. If not, don't worry. You can use a book, maybe something else for support, but we will be using something. So just gather your props ready. And we'll give everyone just another minute or so to join. But it's so lovely to see you all. And give me a wave if at any point you can't hear me or not sure what's with the sound. But if you could mute yourselves, that would be amazing. Thank you. Great, we'll make a start. So this is a 60-minute yin yoga class with meditation for the Kidney Meridian Line. So I'd like to get you in the first position to start with, and then I'll be telling you a lot more as we go along. So we'll start in Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of your feet together. And this is where you might like a cushion or blanket or blocks under each knee if you'd like it softer. If you'd like it a little bit more intense for the hips, you can go without, but if you're using them, slide them under. You can also prop yourself up with 2 cushions, 3 cushions, whatever you need. And then slowly lower yourself back down onto the elbows. Now all the way down onto your back, rest your head and place your hands over the hip bones. Connect your thumb together and your middle finger together, second finger together, into Yoni Mudra. And begin to breathe deep down here into the palms, into that space between the hands, as if sending nourishment and vital energy into your kidneys, which are found closer to your lower back, beneath where the hands are here, towards the back body. Firmly press your pinky toes together for a moment. That's the beginning of the Kidney Meridian Line. And then release, allowing your inner thighs and your hips and lower back to soften. Take that again, press the pinky toe, the feet together, inner thighs engaged. On your next exhale, release. One more time, pressing, engaging, inhale. Exhale to release. Soften here. And allow your breath to slow down as you give the kidneys this time to revitalize. So the kidneys are literally your powerhouse organ of the body. They cleanse your blood, around 15 gallons of blood an hour. That's what I read that they cleanse. So pretty amazing organ. And so important that we nourish this vital organ. Especially at this time, we want to remain clear. We want to have clarity, good memory. We want to be stimulated and have the willpower to keep going. The Kidney Meridian Line is connected to the urinary bladder, which is the longest meridian line in the entire body, and it's the only one that goes through the brain. So when you nourish and stimulate this energy line by these postures, you're also helping your brain to eliminate waste in the same way that your bladder eliminates waste. So see here if you can become more passive, more soft and relaxed. Melt down deeper into the mat. Slowing your breath down. Purifying and cleansing your system with every nourishing breath. All of these postures this evening will be seated or lying down, focusing on the lower back, the hips and the shoulders. I'll chime the bell when it's time to move, but remember to move really slowly throughout this class. Allow yourself to fully slow down, both in your mind and in your body. Take a deeper inhale in through your nose, filling up, and exhale out through your mouth. Slowly release your mudra over the low belly. Wiggle the fingers. Slide your hands here underneath the back of your thighs and use the strength of your arms to bring the knees together to touch. Bring your feet to the wide edges, knees knocked together. Cactus your arms, or upside down goalpost here. Sway the knees gently side to side to loosen your lower back a little more. And counter posture. You can also turn your head away from the legs so you get a little more of a spinal twist here. Take it really slow. And find that massage across your sacrum as you roll the knees side to side. Come all the way onto your left into fetal pose, bringing the knees up towards your heart, chin down. And press yourself back up to seated. To find your book or your block. If you don't have one, you could also use a blanket rolled up or a thicker towel, something for a bit of elevation. And if you don't have anything, you can still do this as well. So I'll guide you through. We lie down, back onto our back, bring the feet in closer and slide the block underneath on the lowest height, resting the sacrum down. Extend your left leg long. Hug your right knee and hold under the thigh so it's a little bit softer here. And then draw gently the right knee in towards your shoulder as you lengthen the left heel away. Breathe into that space in the front of the left hip. That space just down and around the kidney. So the kidneys are also associated with, if they are healthy, it's said that your bones, your joints, your hair, your teeth is very healthy. So here, think of the nourishment that you're giving that left hip socket. See if you can breathe some more space into there. Take a couple more conscious breaths here. Easing into your stretch. And now allow yourself to become completely passive. So no longer forcing a stretch. There might be a slight bounce back of that right knee. Keep the hands interlaced behind the thigh, but try to completely rest the legs, the arms, your entire body here. Stacking your bones and allowing gravity to work on your body. No force involved. Just gentle, soft release. Allow your tongue to float in your mouth. Your jaw to soften fully. Your eyes sinking in and the skin around your eyes letting go. The cheeks melting down the face. Your scalp tingling but relaxed. Take a deeper breath. And as you let it go, very slowly release the legs, switching sides in your own time. And as you hug that left knee in, you apply some pressure here. So guiding the knee in towards the shoulder as you lengthen the right leg away. Allowing the space to open deeply in the front of the right hip this time. So nourishing around the right kidney, the right hip, also the lower back. You can think of gentle pulsations here. So inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, gently guiding the left knee into the shoulder. Inhale the bounce back, knee away from the body slightly. And exhale, guiding it in. So it's subtle, but perhaps strong sensations coming up. And you may find this side tighter or more fluid and open than the last side. So observe that without judgment, but observing. The feedback from the body is so important. It can tell us a lot about our habitual patterns or which side of our body is more dominant or doing more of the work. Take one more breath. And on the exhale, let go, landing in your position to hold for a couple of minutes here. Check that your arms are completely heavy, shoulder blades nuzzling down into the mat. Spine long, lower back giving way into the support beneath it. Visualize sending the breath to the front of the right hip. Is there anywhere here where you could let go more? Where are you holding on? And notice if you're holding on anywhere in the mind. So remembering that this meridian travels all the way up to the brain. So what can you eliminate here? What waste is bouncing around in your head that you could let go of? And send that waste out on the exhale. The same way you physically eliminate your waste, you can do this mentally also. It's a wonderful cleansing exercise to do. And every inhale then is a more purifying breath. One more deep, nourishing breath on this side. You can add in a squeeze if you feel more space has opened up. Now extend the leg long and draw your arms up and back overhead. So you lay over this block with both hips open, adding in the shoulders now and more grounding of your lower back down into the block or your mat or the earth, wherever you are joining in here today. Really soften. And if this at any point feels too much, you can bend your knees or you can bring your arms back into a position more comfortable, perhaps the Yoni Mudra again, where you started. Otherwise, sink into more passive stillness. With your breath, create a very meditative internal atmosphere. No force of the breath, but watching it, witnessing the inhale and the exhale. Here you're giving the kidneys time and space to properly get to work, regulating your blood pressure, regulating glucose in your body and the breakdown of foods. Kidneys are in charge of your metabolism. So although in stillness it can sometimes feel like you're doing nothing, you're actually doing so much by being here now. Take 3 more deep breaths here. On the inhale, imagine lengthening your body more. You may even slightly wiggle toes, reach fingertips further back. On the exhale, completely release and let go. Repeating that a couple more times for yourself. And to come out now, bend your knees. We'll take a few breaths in supported bridge. So keep the block underneath your sacrum. Feel free to knock the knees together, wiggle the feet to the wide edges of your mat. Keep your arms up and back behind if that feels nice, or Yoni Mudra again, whichever resonates with you most. Watch your breath here. Try to completely release the lower back. Notice how it feels to surrender your body weight and be held here. Be supported. So when the kidneys are out of balance, it's said that we can have more confusion or more fear. So the counter to that, when they are in balance, when we nourish them, stimulate them, is wisdom. So tap into a very wise, deeper breath now. And send that wisdom into areas that are giving you some feedback here. Maybe your inner voice speaking to you, telling you that it likes it here. Where it's really happy in this moment internally. Where it feels at peace. Notice if there's anywhere that doesn't feel so at peace still. Can you guide your wise breath there? Slowly now, bring the knees apart. Lift your hips up, slide the block out to the side. Roll over to your left into fetal pose for a couple of breaths. So the left side being in yoga, the yin, the gentle, soft side of the body relating to water, which is also the element related to the kidneys. Flushing out the water in our system, our fluids, our blood, urine. Coming up to sit slowly. You can press with the hands, keep your head heavy so it's the head that rolls up last. We're transitioning to Sphinx. So you can come into a tabletop position. I've got a blanket here just for a bit more height, kind of double rolled. You can use cushions or nothing at all, but see if it feels nice. Lower to the forearms and then send your hips back and down. So elbows underneath the shoulders, and then we'll try a variation today where we hold the elbows here, wiggle the feet back so you've still got that opening in the hip flexors. Find a cobra arch with your chest, keeping the heart drawing forwards. You can melt your chin down towards your heart and let your neck release. So here, compressing the lower back. Close your eyes. Allow your elbows to keep you upright, stacking the bones here for that arch in the spine. And breathe deep into your belly. Breathe deep into the length of your legs here. And notice how the hip sockets feel after the last postures. Perhaps there's a bit of a reset in your body. You feel quite well situated, quite balanced on both sides. And there's a nourishment there around the bones. If you need to wiggle at all to get that perfect balance of the legs, feel free to make very subtle movements and then become still again. See if you can release the back of your neck anymore, allowing the chin to lower down, 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 deeply towards your heart. Picking up on any sensations coming through. Now allow your belly to sink down a little deeper, rounding towards the earth. The chest stays upright, but perhaps a slightly deeper curve in your spine arises. Your hips become so heavy. Your femur bone, thigh bone is rooting down into the earth. Now option everyone to stay here, or you can transition to seal for a slightly deeper back bend. Releasing your arms, try pressing the blanket closer in to the top of the ribs, chest comes over, and then hands come to the corners of the mat and you lift your chest up a little higher. For any of you who feel okay to move the hands in closer, you can also come up even higher to a deeper back bend. But any pinching in the lower back, please come back down. You can stay in Sphinx exactly where you were, head resting down. Or you can have the hands right to the top corners, lift the elbows, and come into seal for about 10 deep breaths here. So close your eyes again. You can trace the curve of your spine with your breath, only taking it as deep as feels nourishing for you. Feel your pelvis sinking down, the pubic bone pressing into the mat. If your head is up, you can allow that to drop now. Chin towards the chest again. Last 3 breaths. And your next exhale, lower first back to the forearms very carefully. Slide your blanket forwards to the top of the mat and rest your head here. You can have a pillow with the hands and then forehead rest down. Bring your big toes together and the ankles knock out to the sides to release your lower back. and rest here. Making sure that your elbows are splayed out wide. Your belly can open up like a balloon with the inhale, deflate fully on the exhale. Try to guide the breath down into the lower back. Soften more. Get heavy. And let go. One more deep, soothing breath into your lower back. Exhale out through the mouth, releasing stagnant energy. Press yourself up to a tabletop position. Move your blanket to the side. You might like it in the next posture, so you can have it to hand in case. We're coming to pigeon pose first on the right side. So slide your right knee up behind the right wrist, lengthen the left leg further back. Now heel toe wiggle this front shin forwards, the right shin. See if you can sink back and down for a moment, wiggle around. And this is where a pillow might be better actually. You might slide that, you can double roll it or get something under there for some nice support. Perhaps you don't need anything. So you can get situated there. And then when you're ready, we're lowering down to the forearms. You can have hands in prayer position here, elbows wide, head resting behind the palms. Or make a pillow with your hands is also a nice option, forehead rest down. Try to relax your shoulders away from your ears. If you need any other modification, you can always roll more onto the right hip, bend the back leg in to a 90-degree angle, and then come down to your forearms from there. That variation is called deer pose, so that's available if you need that on this side or on the next side. But here in your pigeon, seek out some discomfort in that right outer hip. So we're targeting that area, often where we hold a lot of tension here. So very normal for things to come up. Emotions or trapped energy begins to release. Breathe through it with dispassion. You're not here to be caught up in that emotion, but rather meditate, witness it, watch it with compassion, but let it go. Find a more cooling breath to combat any fiery or more warm, hot sensations arising in the right hip. Sink your left femur bone down more to the earth. Now listen closely to the distant sounds you can hear. Now move your awareness to closer sounds. Even to internal sounds. Draw your awareness inward as you relax your inner ears. The kidneys relate to our sense of hearing, sound. So even here, your inner ears can relax. Very gently press your hands to the ground. You peel your upper body up first, with your head coming up last. Roll your weight to the right hip. Send both legs back behind you. Come back to tabletop and make some figure of 8 movements with your body. Moving around the hip, forwards and back into your shoulders as well. You can let your neck loosen. Some variations of cat-cow perhaps. Become very fluid and juicy, especially into the right hip. And now lengthen the right leg away, give it a shake out. So internally and externally, wiggling and rotating the hip here. Bring it back down, we do the other side. Left knee behind the left wrist, lengthen the right leg back first to make space. And now heel toe, bring it around. Find your prop under the left hip. If you need any support there, please do take it. Check that the back toes point directly back. You've got toes facing the bottom edge of the mat. Now lower down into your variation with your arms, where you're settled, where you're happy, where you can hold for a few minutes. And we'll repeat that meditation again on sound. So on this side, beginning again by noticing the sound furthest away that you can hear. Keep all your awareness on that sound. Become very quiet so you can hear it better. Now jump your awareness to the closest sound you can hear. And notice if you held your breath so you could listen inward. That's often the case, so allow yourself to continue breathing. See if you can travel your attention through the inner ears, down the ear canal, inside yourself, to hear even your blood moving around your body. Cleansed by the kidneys, circulating by the heart energy. Can you hear the rhythm, the beat of your pulse? Go deeper, listening. Full surrender in your next breath. Heal yourself up, slowly rippling the chest, with the head coming up last. Transition onto the left hip. Send both legs back. You can give them a shake here. Come back onto all fours. A few cat-cows or figure-of-8 movements, very juicy and fluid, helping to move energy around your body, especially into any stagnant places. Extend the left leg back and give it a wiggle, a shake out. You can roll it inward and outward as well to get the blood coming back through into the hip. And now sit back onto your heels. We'll use the wide edge of the mat for the next one. We'll take frog pose, so a deep one for the inner thighs. So if you want to follow my instruction and then come into it, but you might like to watch first. So I'm double, triple rolling my mat. For frog, you bring the knees onto this padding here. And the idea is to line up the heels behind the knees. So you don't want them too far out. You want them directly behind, and then gradually inch the knees wider and wider, and then lower yourself down onto your forearms and try to press back a bit into the hips. So it's quite a deep inner thigh stretch here, but it really gets into that part of the meridian line. So when you're ready, coming in, lining up the ankle joint behind the knee, so the toes are just peeping out. Hopefully you can see that here from the screen. And then the way that you cheat out is to become more forward. So try not to do that. You want to press back towards the inner thighs. And then let your head go. Rest it down and breathe here. And I'm keeping the time, so I'll signal when it's time to come out. But if possible, try not to be waiting for the sound of that bell. Try to give in to the moment. And when you feel more space arise, encourage yourself, challenge yourself to go deeper into it. This is all good, beneficial, healing stuff right now. So now is the time to feel the sensation, to go with it, and know that, like all challenging things and times, it will pass. And use your breath to help you, to assist you. Try not to drop your belly too low to the ground. Press back a little deeper, over halfway through now. Pressing back towards the knees, the thighs, and maybe even the knees can widen another couple of inches apart. Some people are all the way down into splits and some are much higher. Be kind to yourself, but also go to your range that's available. Remembering to soften your neck completely, so the places that can be soft can really be soft here. Last 5 deep breaths, everyone. And very carefully move forwards now, out of the intensity. Press into your forearms and lift one knee in towards the other, one at a time. So be very careful here as you move in. Sit back. Come with the legs out nice and long. And shake out your legs. Do a few deep breaths here as you let the blood really flush back through. Bring your heels to touch the top edge of the mat. Lie down onto your back. We're taking happy baby now. So hold the outer edges of your feet for this variation, or your shins or your ankles. Try to guide the knees in towards your armpits. So you might be used to having the knees out wide towards the ground. Today, we're seeing if we can bring the knees closer in towards the armpits and perfectly aligning our body. It's like these areas of ourselves were made to fit other parts of ourselves. So see if you can snuggle the knees in and feel the stretch here across your glutes, your lower back releasing, your spine long, chin to the chest. And feel that coziness as you wrap yourself together, the lower body merging into the upper body. Close your eyes if they're not already, and go inwards, listening to all the sensations along this meridian line, from the pinky toes, baby toes, up your legs, across the front of your body where your yoni mudra was at the beginning, all the way up into your brain. And see if your head feels any more refreshed now. Is there any more clarity there? Use the strength of your arms, the weight of your hands to guide the knees closer into the armpits. And then allow the bounce back to become completely passive. From here, we release happy baby, cross the right leg over the left into cow face legs. And then you press the feet away from each other, take a hold of your ankles. You can hold over the top of the shin bone, or if you prefer, hold the hands underneath and guide the knees closer together. So to show you that once again, if you missed it, from happy baby, cross right leg over the left, press the feet away from each other, and then draw the legs in a bit closer. These Gomukhasana legs or cow face legs. So come still, close your eyes again. Drawing the stretch into the back of the glutes, and particularly here, the right outer thigh, or maybe in your body you feel somewhere different. So observe what's going on for you. Keep sinking the lower back down and allow the right lower back to get very heavy here around the right kidney. Soften your toes completely. They're in their natural shape. Allow your arms to become more heavy, becoming more passive here so the pose can happen to you. Guide the knees closer in so there's compression across the lower right side of your belly. Last 3 breaths. Gently unravel the legs here. Bring them up towards the ceiling and give them a little shake. So you may feel a nice, refreshing, trickling sensation through the legs. Perhaps around this right hip here, there's some shift, some energy flowing nicely there. The chi, the prana, life force energy. And now the other side, left leg over the right, stacking the knees. And then use the hands, see if it feels better, hands underneath or hands on top. Guide the legs away from each other and allow the feet to relax. Now the elbows relax, shoulders relax, face, jaw, ears soft, even your throat, so the front and back of the neck. Breathing now into the left side of the lower back. Spreading space. The left low belly also, where there's that compression happening. The thigh becoming heavy and squeezing in towards the belly. Feel the frontal lobe, the front forehead, that front part of your brain becoming very calm, quiet, peaceful by this soothing practice. And take 3 more breaths into that peace. Draw the knees in a tiny bit closer with this last breath. On the exhale, gently unravel and wiggle the legs back up to the ceiling. Give them a little shake. You may need to shuffle down your mat like me if you're a bit close to the wall for the next one. We're taking snail. So from your legs up in the air, find a little rock, a little bit of momentum. And now bring your hands behind your lower back and your knees towards your ears. So your glutes come up in the air, you bend at your knees. And if they reach, you can bring your knees by your ears. So you close off that sound. So stay there. They call this one deaf man's pose sometimes. You're closing off sound so you can allow your ears to relax more, but tune into that sense related to the kidneys of sound. Check that your neck feels safe and happy here. You can either keep your hands on your lower back or perhaps rest your hands down long, if that feels okay. Deeply stretching out the lat muscles of your back, the erector spinae muscles, the muscles either side of your spine. Becoming more quiet. To roll out here, bring your hands back to your lower back. And as slowly as you can, you slide your hands over your glutes as you roll down with the mid back, hands towards the upper back thighs, lower back comes down, hands down by your knees, sacrum down. Lower your legs long all the way to Shavasana. Please take any props you need, socks, a cozy scarf or blanket. Get warm, settle into your well-earned relaxation. Completing this very meditative practice with these few minutes of rest. And if it resonates, we'll take this class full circle by bringing Yoni Mudra back with the hands. So thumbs connect, pointer finger connects, and the palms over or near your hip bones. Third finger pointing down towards your pubic bone and the thumbs just below the belly button. Breath of Life by Donna Folds. I breathe in all that is. Awareness expanding to take everything in, as if my heart beats the world into being. From the unnamed vastness beneath the mind, I breathe my way to wholeness and healing. Inhalation, exhalation. Each breath a yes and a letting go. A journey and a coming home. Inhalation, exhalation. Breath of life. Notice the sounds around you in the distance. Now the deeper, closer sounds. Breathing in, breathe it out. Begin to wiggle your fingertips and your toes. Take a refreshing full body stretch, reaching the arms up and back behind you, legs long. And draw your knees into your chest and roll softly to your left side. When you're ready, press yourself back up to seated. Place your hands back to Yoni Mudra, the symbol of targeting the kidneys this evening, your vital, amazing powerhouse organs, cultivating wisdom, purification, detoxification, and overcoming fear and confusion. We'll take 3 breaths here together. Hands come together now in front of your heart space, bowing down over your fingertips. From my heart to yours, thank you so much. It's an honor and privilege to guide you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Well done for your practice and for taking care of your kidneys, your body. Hope to see you again Wednesday morning if you'd like more fiery vinyasa flow class, or Friday evening for restorative yoga, 6 to 7 p.m. So thank you so much and have a lovely evening. Bye, everyone. Take care. Thank you.